Welcome to my channel. I This is my first book review. It's on Animal Farm, George Orwell's Animal Farm, classic book, novel. And so I checked it out on my local library. I wanted to start with a shorter novel. This is about 150 pages roughly. And I'm not much of a reader, and I'm hoping this channel will provide me an opportunity to do more reading. And and so this for me, as far as reading is really anything. I want to do novels, classic novels. Also, I think I'm more of a kind of a nonfiction guy. So whether that be in biography, history, maybe some health and nutrition, really a wide variety of areas that I'm interested in. And so I'm looking forward to this, just try to read more books and kind of share my thoughts and my feedback, and hope you guys enjoy. Please like and subscribe, and comment if you have read Animal Farm, and if you have any recommendations for other books that you recommend for me to read, novels or otherwise. And so for George Orwell, he wrote mostly in the 40s and 50s, up, as far as the big popular ones, Animal Farm, 1984. And people noted that it was reference this Animal Farm, as far as in particular, for example, is in reference more to uh, communist Soviet Union and Stalin specifically. And I could definitely see parallels over here in this book towards that. But I think when I go through this book and went through it, I can see definitely the parallels in any really political situation where the concentration of power is in one or very few individuals, as this book highlighted. And I enjoyed it. I think there's certain things, certain thoughts that came to my mind. I felt like it could have been a little longer. For example, Snowball, the character of Snowball, and also just FYI, there might be some spoilers. I'm kind of going off script, kind of from my own thoughts, no script right now. I'm just kind of going off script, so there might be some spoilers if you haven't read Animal Farm and you don't want to take any chances. You just wanted to let you know beforehand. So there's a character called Snowball, and I think he's kind of like there's okay the thing of the idea of Animal Farm is there's animals and there's humans, right? The farm was called Manor Farm, I believe, and Manor Farm, excuse me, Manor Farm, and Old Major is kind of this old wise pig that is has been there for many years. Is he's about to die, and he has a dream of the animals being united and having their own farm and kind of defeating humans or be independent of humans. And he gives a speech to the rest of the animals after Mr. Jones, the owner of Manor Farm, goes to sleep. He gives a speech, and then I think he dies soon afterwards. And so the animals are inspired. There's an anthem for Animal Farm. I think it's called, and there's a whole, I think, philosophy, animalism, and the animalism was it called, I think. And so the point is that four legs good, two legs bad, right? So animals are good, and humans are bad. So they unite on this idea, and they're able to overthrow Mr. Jones, who's the owner of the farm. Him and his family, they take off and go, to go elsewhere. And so there's this competition between the two. So the pigs are kind of like the top of the hierarchy within the animals. Although in the beginning, of course, the kind of the propaganda was like they're all equal, all animals equal. But in reality, there's kind of a slowly you can kind of see a class of animals on the top, and then below that, and then below that. So pigs are on the top basically, as shown in this book here, and then dogs are below them, and then after that, all other animals are pretty much below that. And the idea is, the pigs are kind of the one that are able to read and write. They're intelligent, and dogs are kind of like right below them, they're kind of second in that intelligence. And so There's a competition after Old Major dies, the pig. There is a competition between a pig named Snowball and Napoleon. And at the end of the day, Napoleon is able to somehow oust and kick out Snowball from the animal farm, and so what happens is that there's a whole story obviously behind it, but so there's competition. He kicks him out. He becomes the sole kind of leader of Animal Farm, and before there was some discussion and arguments and just debates, but now that Snowball is kicked out, it's like almost like a totalitarian system with Napoleon at the top. And so he has his right hand man, Squealer, another pig that kind of represents him and kind of convince and talks to the rest of the animals, and kind of said propaganda on Napoleon's behalf. And yeah, and so at the end of I mean, here's a spoiler here. At the end of the novel, slowly but surely, the rules and the laws change in Animal Farm, where basically, the people in power, Napoleon and pigs, for example, they have more privileges. The at first, like, they're against the idea of, hey, we shouldn't live luxurious, we shouldn't be in the house, in the farmhouse and whatnot. But then eventually Napoleon takes the farmhouse, and he lives there. He lives on he gives a comfortable life, like a mattress, and drinks, and drinks alcohol, and he smokes and whatnot. And he has, he has a whole bunch of puppies that he trains, and they're loyal to him. And so he has like a whole bunch of dogs that are defending him, and kind of defending his house and whatnot. So he has a power, and he also has the propaganda machine in terms of Squealer and other people that kind of shows that he is, Napoleon's always right. That's one of the things that phrases that is used by them. And yeah, and so eventually, so the first, humans are bad, but eventually Napoleon, he changes all the laws and all the rules, and it kind of basically, makes it, he changes it for himself essentially. Okay, no beds, but he kind of uses his beds and comfort, and they make all the excuse that, hey, if we, pigs, we need more rest or whatever, nutrition, to be able to use our brains to help the rest of you guys. And yeah, and so you definitely see a class of different classes of animals. Pigs that on the top, as I mentioned, dogs below them, and then everyone else is kind of below that. And then everyone else is kind of more like peasants. They're kind of the blue collar hard workers. They do all the hard work, and for the sake of the farm, so to speak, and they don't get much benefit from in return. But then yet most of them are loyal, and but then we see through time, through the book, that how the society over there becomes more totalitarian. Napoleon cracks down on people that the Snowball. There's a little mention. I think one of the kind of disappointing part for me is the fact that Snowball isn't really mentioned. There's no conclusion, I guess, for me. There's a reference in later on where he apparently comes back, and he tries to seduce, and tries to kind of cause chaos in Animal Farm with some of the animals. And then I guess some of those animals get caught, and they do confess, I guess, that they were working with Snowball. And so what happens, Napoleon kills those animals that were collaborating with Snowball. And so but the thing is, at the end of the day, we don't really know what happens to Snowball, right? That's kind of a little bit of a mystery, I guess. For me, I feel like that was a little bit missing. There could be potentially a second part. I could see that for Animal Farm. And at the end, it kind of abrupt. Like, it seems like it was kind of melodramatic. So was it Napoleon? He has deals with various humans, the farmers and people in the area, and so the rest of the animals that see him inside there in the farmhouse with a whole bunch of a couple of humans. I forgot the name of the character now, but they're seeing them like toasting to each other, cheering, and whatnot. And then these pigs also started to walk in their hind legs, which kind of humans do, right? Two legs, right? And so the kind of at the end, Orwell mentions, from the perspective of the rest of the animals, like, hey, you know what? They're outside looking inside the farmhouse, and they couldn't tell the difference between the pigs and the humans. Meaning the pigs have become so much corrupted, so to speak, and so so much in common and collaboration with the humans that you really can distinguish the two of them. So that was interesting. But then again, it seemed like it kind of ended abruptly. I would like to get maybe if it was a little more longer. I was thinking maybe, hey, Snowball might be coming back and for rebellion and tries to, you know, take back Animal Farm, but that never happens. But certainly there's a lot of lessons. It was a lot of lessons in terms of class, in terms of totalitarianism versus like a more of a democracy, and even though it's supposed to be, it's like I think socialism or communism, ideally there's, hey, it's supposed to be good for the people. It's good intentioned, well intentioned, but in reality, what happened obviously in Soviet Union and also really a lot of societies is that there's when you have a concentration of power in one or few individuals, you're definitely gonna get corruption. You're gonna get kind of a dictator, totalitarian type of society, and so that definitely portrays that. There's definitely lessons in that which could be applicable now or anytime really. So definitely thumbs up, and let me know if there's any specific novels that you recommend or any specific books, fiction or nonfiction, that you recommend. Please make a comment, like, share, support. Thanks.